Yeah, so my name is Pascal Etiendem. I was born on September 8, 1973, and baptized 2 weeks after by Father Hoffman. I hail from a very humble family. We were 8 of us in the family. I attended Catholic school, St. Aloysius Catholic School for Akemido, where I had my first school leaving certificate. And then I went to GSS Fontem in those days in 1998, when my late brother, Mr. Songtia Tadius, was the principal. So I got a mission there, and I spent my 7 years there, where I had my A-levels. In 96, I had to spend 2 years doing business in Menji, selling an up license in an article store. I was managing the two places until 1998 that I went to the University of Boya, and I spent 3 years at the University of Boya, and I graduated with an LLB in law. After UB, again, I had another break that I wasn't doing anything other than just doing petty business in town, and finally ended up as a teacher at Christ the King College when I got hired by the Catholic Education Authority. So I served as a teacher and Dean of Studies at Christ the King College right up to 2006, that I played the DV lottery. I won, and I ended up in America, where I had to kind of start life all over again. One thing that I can say I have contributed to society over the past 50 years is giving back to the community. Right from my days in the primary school, I used to serve as a monitor. As growing up, when they give you certain responsibility at a very early age, they help to mold you to be what you will be in adult. And they just start by maybe asking the child to sweep the house. And that is how I started being a monitor, carrying the books for the teachers, and then ended up as a class head boy. As a joke, I went to high school, and I was a student union president. I began to build skills. As I moved on, in grammar school, I was a prefect, the sanitation prefect, but from the way I was dressed, they had to elect me the sanitation prefect. I found my way going to Christ the King College. I demonstrated exceptional ability as a teacher. I started by managing the staff loan scheme there at Christ the King College. I was the staff social master. At one point, I was the canteen manager because of the confidence and my managerial skills that the principal identified in me, and I ended up serving as the Dean of Studies at Christ the King College, which is also, like I will say, is a great achievement, because that position really helped to make me, to bring out even some hidden potentials that I had in me. Before leaving Cameroon, I was already that put me at the top and in a position where I could take any challenge that come in my life. And of course, when I got here, one of the things that I tried, together with my friend Kemezin Jerome and Dr. Nkemzi Gaitan, we started a private university in Cameroon called Charter University Institute, which was gaining steam really, really well. And unfortunately, we just started it when the Anglophone crisis started. And so we could not continue. But one thing that I'm proud to say we did was that the teachers that we had teaching in that school, we continued paying them out of pocket until we graduated our first set of students. We cannot continue as we speak. Every property is parked somewhere, but we're hoping that we'll have the opportunity to go back there. Back here in the US, when I got here, life has to start. When I talk about myself, it was at the level of Cameroon. I had to start as a nursing assistant. I had to do CNA work It's important I say all this because where I am today, I did not start. I had to work my way up. I had to go to school to do the CNA. I had to do my LPN. And I finally did my RON. And at each one point, something motivated me to take the next step forward. Today, I am an entrepreneur. Not working for somebody, but working for myself. And I think the things that I'm doing today, that is, I own a behavioral health, level 2 behavioral health facility together with my friends, Dr. Kemzi. We are not only helping people around here, but we are also helping, especially those who come here, need a job and need something to do while they gain their feet. That is also a remarkable achievement that I've done. We also have another business, a home health agency that is picking up steam also, which is still part of, people call it business, but in another way, we are giving back to the community. I am not going to downplay on my different leadership role. People call it leadership role, but it is a way of being a servant, of giving to the community, like current or outgoing president of LEGDA, Arizona. I am the current president of the Sotaroya family. I have served in LEGDA USA as the CFO and currently the Chief Executive Officer. So all these sound like comfortable positions, but they are servant positions because they come with a lot of responsibility. So I think in my little 50 years, I cannot say it all here, but I think I'm giving a lot to the community. I think some of the things that makes me who I am is my ability to appreciate people around me. If you want to relate well with people, you should be able to appreciate those around you. There can be those above you, and there can be those under you. Another thing that I feel like people think I don't look 50, but I am actually 50 and I look younger than 50 because I control how I react to my environment. At any point in life, there must be something that is going on that will make you unhappy. And so our emotions has a lot to do with how we appear physically. And so the choices that we make has a lot to do with how we feel in life. So I am very, very conscious of that, and I don't let anything in life come in my way of being happy, no matter how bad it is. Some of the interesting things that has happened in my life, at times we look at family to be blood. One thing that I found very interesting is my starting a business career here in America with somebody that I only knew when I came to the US, like Dr. Kemzi and the family. We never knew each other and we just met here. And I looked through my desktop and I saw the minutes of the first meeting that we had, that we just met. It was like a joke. I don't know how to put it, but you know how you meet and say, we want to start a business, and all what you know is that you want to start a business and you had nothing in mind. And we discussed that day and said, go think of a business that we can start. And so when you look at that, where we are today, from a discussion like that, I think it is really interesting. And since then, I have decided to kind of play the role of a coach to any young person that I come across, that everything that you can be in future, just start with a simple discussion. You might not even have what you want to say in mind, but you can just invite somebody and say, come and sit here, let's talk something. And you can be surprised with what you end up with. And like I said, I feel uncomfortable calling him my business partner, but I feel more comfortable calling him a brother, because the rate at which we relate and our kids interact is something that I haven't been able to find that kind of chemistry even between some close relations. So one significant thing that has really happened with me is my business career, the partner that I have, and the progress that I make with him. The very first obstacle that almost broke me was in '98. You know, I had my elder brother that was the man, like the breadwinner of the family and my mentor. And the same year that I had to enter the university, he passed. And my life took a drastic change. That was challenging. At some point, I lose hope. There are times that I use this, since I'm in the mental health, I use this to give hope to some of the members that we serve. Because if I had access to drugs around that time, I'm sure I would have done drugs, because I was filled with hopelessness. But you know, one of the things that helped me to break through was prayers. At times I had to pray, and I told God that I am not going to break down because of those obstacles. And it was really tough. Moving from having so much excess cash as growing up in a high school to a university where you could barely afford 100 francs to pay a taxi. It was challenging that I would leave support to go to UB, and I would drop at the UB junction, and the same taxi that carried me continued into the campus and drop somebody, and I had to drop and trek because the junction was 100 francs and to drop in campus was 50. And I could not contrast that with the life I had just a year before. So it was really challenging. But as I said, with the help of prayers and working hard to get myself out of that situation, I survived. Another big challenge when I came was when I finally left Christ the King College, where I had my office as a dean of studies and every other thing that I could need in a very comfortable office. I won the lottery and I came to America. Oh God. When I came here, I had to start somewhere and had to start as a nursing assistant. And we all know what nursing assistants they do here. So leaving an office and coming to start training in a job that you have to help people to the bathroom, clean them and give them shower, it is not a transition that I took lightly. And to be honest with you, when I got here, if they had paid my flight ticket and say, go back, within the first month that I got here, I would have gone. That would have been a bad decision, but I would have gone. But hey, again, I have to, what made me to stay strong and true and went through the challenge is that when I started having my little pay stuff here, working as a CNA, the money motivated me to stay put. At Christ the King, I used to have 600,000 CFA. That is about $1,200 a year in 12 months. If you don't mark the GCE, you don't have any other thing. If you don't organize holiday classes, you don't have any other thing. But when I came and I did that job and I received my first paycheck, all the anxiety saying I can go back stopped, because I know that I can work for 2 weeks and sponsor 2 teachers from where I'm coming from. So that was a huge challenge for me, but again, the money helped me to overcome that challenge. When you are the kind of person that I am, it's challenging, but you have to assume different personalities at different times. At home, you have to be a father. You go to the community. Even the different groups that I lead, they have different expectations and they have different audiences. You go to work, you have employees, and you have to be professional. And so within a week, you can assume as many as 5 different personalities, which I wouldn't sit here and say is easy. But I thank God, because some of these things that happen, they don't happen because you are a superhuman being, but they happen because God is able to bless you with some qualities that you can begin to switch from one personality to another, to come home and sit with the kids, and you play with little children, to sit in the boat and you get so professional, to go to work and you pull people struggling with mental health, put in one room and talk and cheer them up, to switch, go out and call an employee or a group of employees and stay professional and make sure that you get them to toe the line, to go through the week, maybe weekend they bring a drum and you have to dance a traditional dance, and you have to get in a whole different set of excitement, to move into an occasion and they hand you the microphone and say, hey, you have to be the MC, and you please make things work, make people happy, and make the program flows. This is not something that somebody who one personality and unable to switch can do. But again, the ability to do this is not something that I learned from school, but I feel like it is a gift from God for me to be able to switch myself from one mood to the other to meet the different things that God throws my way. If I were to talk about my role model, when I was growing up, my role model used to be my late brother, both in academics and in dressing. Those who went to grammar school will call him Grantier. He was intelligent, and he paid attention to details when he was dressing up. Everybody admired him. Up to today, I still pay that same attention to my dressing, and I got that inspiration from him. Now, the person that I work day and night to be like, and wish if I'm like 50% of him before I die, is my dad. My father was an exceptional human being. Always at service to everyone. And he happened to, at times I get confused whether to say my role model is my dad or my mom, because they were like they were the identical twins in the way they do their things, community service, So I just say, if I can, in terms of marriage, because when you talk about role model, I want my marriage life to be like that of my mom and my dad. I grew up to age. I think I left Cameroon when I was 32 before coming to America, But I cannot say, growing up, I cannot say a single day that I heard my parents arguing or disagreeing strongly over something. And my dad was always giving back to the community. So too my mom. So I have role models that even today, when I'm faced with a challenge, I go open my album and I look at their picture and I pray to them and say, let them guide me. And it is something that at 50, I try to share, because I don't think there is any better role model than your parents, because the children can pick from that. When you give your children the opportunity to look for their role model out of the home, that role model might end up being the bad model. So I think the advice that I will give is that always a man, a woman, be a role model in your house. When you start bringing up kids from year 1, by the time they get to adulthood, trust me, they will pick a lot from you if you are their role model. So for the next 50 years, one thing that I did not mention is the life that I have impacted. And it is something that is very outstanding. one of the outstanding achievements that I've made. A few days ago, I actually counted how many people since I came to America and I got married to my wife, my beautiful wife. We've been living together for since 2009. One of the things that we have done is to touch lives, not just touch life at like giving employment opportunity to people, but actually opening our doors for people to come in, and especially those who need shelter when they come here. We've done that to 18 people, and among the 18 people who've passed through us, they are doing great. We have pharmacists, not one. We have engineers. We have RONs. We have LPNs. So we have been doing that for quite some time. So for the next 50 years, there is a lot, and it is a little scary, I must admit, because when you say you are 50, the retirement age in America is 65 or 64. Means in the next 14 years, Medicare will start sending you letters. And so, if there is anything that I have not done before now, it means I have to achieve it within 14 years. So I said, let me celebrate this milestone, and immediately after this celebration, I will have to kind of focus now on me exclusively to see how some of these businesses that we have, that in the next maybe 20 years I might not have the energy to run them, so start seeing how I start grooming people, looking for individuals around me that can take over some of the businesses that we are managing. That way, if I get tired, the business doesn't end after me. So those are the kind of plans that I'm looking at. And it is very important that, I really thank you for asking this question. It is really important that some of the people that I used to reach out to, some of the things that I used to do, philanthropic gesture that I used to do, if I cut down on some of those things, people should take it well. The people that I assist should take it well, because, as much as it is good to help people, at some point it's good that when you get to 50, it's good that you kind of slow down and focus more on yourself, because the worst thing is to live a life that you become vulnerable and remain at the mercy of the people around you because you did not plan well for yourself. The people you assist today is no guarantee that if you don't end up well, they will come for you. There is not a guarantee. So my focus from now moving on is to see how I can conclude the next few years by building a sustainable future for myself. A future that the resources that I have can take care of me without leaving me at the mercy of children, friends, or family.